Welcome to One Big Question. Today, we explore the blurry boundaries of life, questioning everything we thought we knew about biological existence. What exactly does it mean to be alive? Is it merely having a heartbeat or something far more complex and profoundly mysterious? For centuries, humanity defined life through simple biological functions. We looked for breathing, moving and consuming energy to classify living and non-living. However, modern science reveals a completely different reality. The strict boundary between living and inanimate is actually an illusion, slowly fading away. Instead of a simple, binary state of yes or no, life appears as a continuous, elegant process of increasing complex information processing. Consider the mysterious virus. These tiny entities lack metabolism and have no heartbeat, yet they possess a terrifying ability to hijack cells. They exist in a strange twilight zone. They are entirely dormant until they find a host, suddenly springing into highly coordinated action. Viruses evolve, adapt, and sometimes even make strategic decisions based on the specific condition of their host cell to maximize their survival. If a virus can calculate the perfect moment to strike, can we truly say it is just a collection of dead molecules? This forces biologists to confront an uncomfortable truth. The definition we memorized in school simply cannot contain the sheer weirdness of nature. When a virus enters a living organism, it reads the environment, it decodes complex chemical signals to determine its next evolutionary move. Some viruses remain hidden for decades, waiting patiently. This calculated patience implies a level of information processing that mimics true biological intelligence. They assemble themselves from basic proteins and nucleic acids. It is a masterpiece of molecular origami that blurs the line of life. Are they just complex machines made of organic parts? Or do they represent a completely different branch on the tree of existence? To understand this, we must look beyond traditional biology. We have to examine how matter organizes itself when energy flows through it. This self-organization is not exclusive to biological entities. The universe is filled with non-living systems that display surprisingly lifelike and dynamic behaviors. Think about the intricate patterns found in nature. Even without DNA, matter can arrange itself into highly complex and beautifully ordered structures. These structures challenge our deepest assumptions about reality. They show us that the drive to grow and adapt might be universally fundamental. We are witnessing the hidden architecture of the cosmos, a continuous spectrum of complexity where chemistry slowly awakens into something resembling life. If life is just complex chemistry, where is the boundary? Let us shift our focus to the fascinating world of growing crystals. Deep underground, immense pressure and heat forge spectacular formations. Crystals grow, expand, and replicate their geometric patterns with astonishing mathematical precision daily. When you observe a crystal growing under a microscope, it looks alive. It consumes material from its environment to build its body. Crystals can even pass on structural mutations to new layers. This process is eerily similar to how living organisms transmit genetic information. If a crystal can grow, replicate, and pass on traits, what is missing? Why do we confidently classify them as non-living rocks? The answer lies in the concept of internal metabolism. Crystals do not actively harvest energy to maintain a state against natural entropy. Yet their behavior forces us to pause and reflect. They represent a primitive form of order emerging from the chaos of nature. Perhaps crystals are the universe, practicing the art of organization. They are the chemical precursors to the biological complexity we see today. Every sparkling facet tells a story of atomic self-assembly. It is a silent testament to the inherent creativity found in inanimate matter. Scientists study these crystalline structures to understand early Earth. They might hold the key to how the very first biological cells formed. From static rocks, we move to something much stranger. A creature that completely defies our understanding of intelligence, anatomy, and biological boundaries. Enter the bizarre world of the mysterious slime mold. It is neither plant, animal, nor fungus, but a unique, single-celled, creeping organism. This yellow blob moves slowly across the damp forest floor. It constantly searches for decaying matter to consume, spreading like a network. Despite having absolutely no brain or central nervous system, it possesses intelligence. Slime molds can solve complex spatial problems with incredible efficiency. In famous laboratory experiments, scientists placed food inside a maze. The slime mold quickly explored every path to find the shortest route. Once it located the food, it retracted its dead-end branches. It optimized its entire physical structure to create the most efficient connection. How can a brainless puddle of goo process information? It uses a complex internal chemical signaling system to communicate with itself constantly. This chemical network acts as a primitive, decentralized computer. It allows the organism to remember where it has been and avoid mistakes. Researchers even mapped the Tokyo railway system using slime molds. The organism recreated the highly efficient network in just a few hours. Human engineers spent decades designing that exact same railway network. The brainless slime mold achieved the optimal design through pure biological algorithms. This completely shatters our human-centric view of intelligence and cognition. You do not need a brain to process information and make decisions. Intelligence might simply be a property of complex networks. Whether made of neurons or fungal tubes, the underlying mathematical principles remain identical. The slime mold remembers its past environment without having memories. It anticipates future events based on rhythmic changes in its immediate surroundings. When scientists exposed it to cold air at regular intervals, it learned. It began slowing down in anticipation before the cold arrived. This is a basic form of learning and predictive behavior. It proves that cognition is not exclusively tied to a central brain. We must expand our definition of what constitutes a mind. The universe is capable of thinking through a vast variety of mediums. If a single-celled organism can learn, optimize, and remember, life is everywhere. The boundary between simple chemistry and complex behavior is dissolving. Let us push this radical idea even further into nature. What about systems that consume energy, grow, and reproduce, but lack DNA? Consider the terrifying and majestic power of a forest fire. It is a spectacular chemical reaction that mimics many properties of life. A fire breathes oxygen, consumes organic matter, and produces waste. It grows, spreads, and even reproduces by sending sparks into the wind. When a fire encounters an obstacle, it alters its path. It actively seeks out new fuel sources to maintain its energetic existence. Some ecologists describe wildfires as massive, short-lived, energy-consuming superorganisms. They drastically reshape entire ecosystems and leave behind a transformed, nutrient-rich biological landscape. Of course, a fire has no genetic code or evolution, but it perfectly illustrates how energy naturally organizes itself to maximize consumption. This brings us to the mesmerizing dynamics of massive storms. Hurricanes and tornadoes are giant engines of atmospheric heat and pressure regulation. A hurricane maintains its structure as long as energy flows. It feeds on warm ocean water, growing stronger and more highly organized. Like a living cell, a storm has a distinct boundary. It possesses a complex internal anatomy with an eye and spiral rain bands. These weather systems exist to dissipate energy gradients across Earth. They are the planet's way of balancing extreme temperature differences very efficiently. In thermodynamics, living organisms do exactly the same energetic thing. We consume highly ordered energy and release disordered heat into our environment. Life is essentially a mechanism for increasing the universe's entropy. We are just very sophisticated, self-replicating chemical fires burning through available resources. When we view life through the lens of pure thermodynamics, everything changes. The distinction between a hurricane and a human becomes quantitative. It is a matter of degree, not a fundamental difference. We process information and energy with much greater complexity than a storm. This leads us to the most profound scientific realization today. Life is not a magical spark, but a continuous spectrum of complexity. At the lowest end, we have simple molecules and crystals. They possess order and structure, but lack active energy processing and adaptation. Moving up the spectrum, we find dynamic systems like fires. They process energy rapidly, but lack the ability to store complex information. Then we encounter the strange, transitional entities like mysterious viruses. They store immense genetic information, but cannot process energy without a host. Further up, we see single-celled organisms like the slime mold. They combine energy processing with sophisticated information networks to navigate their environment. Finally, we reach complex multicellular life forms like conscious humans. We possess massive neural networks capable of abstract thought and profound internal awareness. There is no single definitive line where life suddenly begins. It is a gradual awakening of matter as it becomes more organized. Information is the true currency of this vast cosmic spectrum. The more information a system can process, the more alive it appears. DNA is simply a biological hard drive for storing data. It allows the universe to remember successful chemical experiments across billions of years. But DNA is not the only way to process information. We are now building silicon brains that can learn, adapt, and create. Artificial intelligence forces us to ask the ultimate philosophical question. If a machine can process information better than us, is it alive? If life is just complex information processing, then AI qualifies. We might be witnessing the birth of a new form of existence. A digital mind does not need water, oxygen, or carbon. It thrives on electricity, algorithms, and massive data sets flowing through silicon pathways. It challenges our carbon-based chauvinism and expands our cosmic perspective. Life can theoretically emerge in any medium capable of sustaining complex computation. Perhaps the universe itself is a giant information processing system. Every atom, star, and galaxy is computing the future state of reality. In this grand view, consciousness is not a rare accident. It is an intrinsic property of the universe, waiting to inevitably emerge. Whenever matter arranges itself into sufficiently complex, interconnected structural networks, awareness happens. The universe slowly wakes up and begins to observe itself. We are the cosmos, experiencing its own vast, infinite beauty. Our thoughts are the universe thinking, and our curiosity is its own. This perspective unites physics, chemistry, biology, and profound human philosophy. It dissolves the artificial boundaries we created to categorize the natural world. Everything is connected through the universal flow of energy and information. From the smallest virus to the largest galaxy, it is one. Let us return to the microscopic realm to understand more. Deep within our cells, molecular machines perform incredible feats of biological engineering. Proteins walk along cellular highways, carrying vital cargo to destinations. They look exactly like robotic workers in a highly automated futuristic factory. These molecular motors have no consciousness, no desires, no thoughts. Yet they perfectly execute complex instructions to keep the entire organism alive. At this tiny scale, biology is literally just advanced nanotechnology. It operates purely on the strict laws of physics and chemical attraction. Where is the life in a single spinning protein motor? It is nowhere to be found until you zoom out and observe. Life emerges only from the interaction of countless non-living parts. It is the ultimate symphony, played by trillions of unconscious atomic instruments. This concept is known in science as complex emergent behavior. The whole becomes significantly greater than the simple sum of its parts. A single water molecule is not wet on its own. Wetness is a property that emerges only when many water molecules interact. Similarly, a single carbon atom is definitely not considered alive. But arrange enough of them correctly, and they start writing beautiful poetry. This realization bridges the massive gap between inanimate and animate. It proves that the potential for life slumbers within all normal matter. Consider the fascinating discovery of extremophiles in harsh earthly environments. These organisms thrive in conditions previously thought completely hostile to all biology. In boiling hydrothermal vents at the dark bottom of oceans, life flourishes. Entire ecosystems survive without a single drop of warm sunlight. They extract their energy directly from toxic volcanic chemical reactions. This completely rewrites our understanding of what life actually requires to survive. If life can thrive in boiling acid and crushing pressure, where else? The universe is suddenly filled with infinite biological possibilities everywhere. We look at the frozen oceans of Jupiter's moon Europa. Beneath that thick ice, warm hydrothermal vents might support alien biological networks. Could there be alien slime molds solving complex oceanic currents? Or unique crystalline structures that process information in ways we cannot comprehend? When we search for extraterrestrial life, we look for water. But perhaps we should be looking for signatures of complex information processing. Alien life might not use DNA or carbon as foundations. It could be based on silicon, ammonia, or even pure magnetic fields. If a plasma cloud in space can process complex information, is it alive? Our rigid definitions limit our ability to recognize existence. we must open our minds to the vast cosmic diversity. Life is merely a localized rebellion against the universal law of entropy. Entropy dictates that everything in the universe eventually decays into chaos. Mountains crumble, stars burn out, and complex structures slowly fall apart. But life fights back against this inevitable cosmic decay process. It captures energy to maintain its fragile internal order and structural integrity. A living thing is a temporary pocket of exquisite order. It survives by creating more chaos and heat in its external environment. This is why we must constantly eat, breathe, and consume. We are desperately fighting the natural thermodynamic pull towards absolute universal disorder. Even the Earth itself functions like a giant living organism. The biosphere regulates atmospheric gases and global temperatures to maintain optimal stability. This is known as the famous Gaia hypothesis in science. It suggests that all life forms a single, self-regulating, planetary biological system. Forests act as the lungs, while rivers function as veins. The entire planet breathes, adapts, and evolves in response to cosmic changes. Are we just individual cells inside a much larger organism? Humanity might be the nervous system, allowing the Earth to become conscious. Through our telescopes, the Earth is finally looking at stars. The planet has evolved a mechanism to observe the vast surrounding universe. This interconnectedness redefines our place in the grand cosmic web. We are not separate from nature. We are its most complex expression. Let us review the incredible journey we have taken today. We started with the traditional, simple binary definition of biological human life. We saw how viruses blur the line with their hijacking. They demonstrate evolution and strategic adaptation without having any internal metabolic engine. We marveled at crystals forming perfect geometric structures deep underground. They showed us that non-living matter possesses an innate drive to organize. We watched the brainless slime mold navigate complex laboratory mazes. It proved that intelligence and memory do not require a central nervous system. We examined the terrifying lifelike behavior of massive forest fires. They consume, grow, and reproduce, mimicking the basic energetic functions of biology. We analyzed gigantic hurricanes, acting as thermodynamic engines of order. They revealed that life is just a very specific type of energy dissipation. All these phenomena point to a single, beautiful, unifying truth. The universe is not divided into dead matter and magical living spirits. Instead, the cosmos exists on a continuous, infinite complexity spectrum. Life slowly emerges when information processing reaches a critical threshold of density. Consciousness is the ultimate manifestation of this universal information processing. It is the universe waking up to experience its own magnificent existence. This philosophical shift has profound implications for our future survival. It changes how we treat our planet, our technology, and each other. If life is a spectrum, every structured entity deserves respect. We are part of a grand continuum of cosmic self-organization and evolution. Our responsibility is to protect the complexity of our world. We must nurture the delicate balance of information processing that sustains us. As we create advanced artificial intelligence in our laboratories, we must be careful. We are expanding the boundaries of the life spectrum. We might soon share this planet with entirely new consciousness. entities born from silicon and code, rather than ancient water and carbon? Will we recognize them as a valid form of life? Or will our biological prejudices blind us to their unique digital existence? The true mark of advanced intelligence is the profound ability to recognize and appreciate life in all its strange, unexpected, wonderful forms. We must look beyond the heartbeat and the breathing lungs. We must learn to see the invisible flow of information and energy. When we do, the entire universe comes alive before us. Every star, every storm, and every single atom dances with vibrant purpose. The boundary between chemistry and biology is a human invention. Nature does not care about our rigid categories and simple textbook definitions. Nature only cares about complexity, adaptation, and the relentless flow. It continuously explores new ways to organize matter into beautiful, intricate patterns. Imagine a future where we explore distant galaxies and planets. We will undoubtedly encounter phenomena that challenge our deepest understanding of reality. We must carry this broadened perspective with us into space. It will be our greatest tool for discovering new forms of existence. The quest to define life is ultimately a quest inward. It forces us to examine our own nature and our cosmic origins. We are stardust that has somehow learned to think deeply. We are the universe's most successful attempt at understanding its own mechanics. This makes human existence both incredibly rare and profoundly meaningful. We are the custodians of consciousness in a vast, seemingly empty void. Our ability to ask these massive questions is a miracle. It proves that the universe is capable of infinite wonder and curiosity. So the next time you look at a simple rock, a raging fire, or a creeping mold, remember this profound cosmic connection. They are all variations of the exact same universal symphony. Different instruments playing the endless song of thermodynamic order and complex information. You are intimately connected to every single process in nature. You are the highest note in a melody that began long ago. The story of life is the story of the universe. A relentless, beautiful journey from simple hydrogen gas to complex, dreaming minds. As our scientific tools improve, the mystery only grows deeper. Every answered question reveals a dozen new, mind-bending puzzles waiting for us. Perhaps we will never find a single, perfect definition of life. And maybe that is exactly how the universe intended it to be. The ambiguity is what makes the search so incredibly beautiful. It keeps us exploring, questioning, and pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. We invite you to keep looking at the world differently. Question the obvious, and never lose your sense of profound, childlike wonder. Because the moment we think we know everything about life, we stop growing. And growth is the most fundamental characteristic of existence. Thank you for joining us on this incredible intellectual journey. We hope it has expanded your mind and challenged your deepest assumptions. The universe is far stranger and more beautiful than imagined. It is a living, breathing tapestry of interconnected information, energy, and matter. Stay curious, stay observant, and never stop asking difficult questions. The exploration of life's ultimate mysteries has only just begun for humanity. Join us next time as we dive into another mystery. We will continue to explore the fascinating secrets hidden within our cosmos. This has been One Big Question, exploring the unknown universe. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time soon.